Hi, I'm Thibaut de Lataillade, General Manager at GetApp. As part of Rebuilding Your Small Business series, we are interviewing expert contributors to offer practical business advice about how to improve the overall customer journey. For those who don't know, GetApp helps businesses like yours discover and compare great software. Today, I have the honor to interview Laurie McCabe, who brings more than 25 years of experience in the IT to her current role as co-founder and partner at SMB Group. So to kick this off, can you share with our audience your story as an entrepreneur? What is your background and what has been your journey as a small business owner yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I started my career working actually for a technology vendor and primarily in marketing and then marketing and competitive research. And quickly, changed fields into becoming an analyst, going to kind of the other side of the business. And I worked in a couple of different analyst firms. And then in 2009, kind of as a result of the Great Recession, I got laid off, like a lot of people did, and kind of looked around and said, you know what? There probably aren't going to be a lot of companies hiring right now. So myself and my co-founder partner, Sanjeev Agrawal, we decided to just start our own research firm, SMB Group. And we wanted to focus on the small and medium business market because we felt it was kind of underserved in terms of analysts and research. So that's kind of how I arrived at where I am today with SMB Group.
All right, fantastic. So today we're going to talk a lot about customer service and customer experience more broadly. And my first question will be about your personal definition of customer experience in the small business landscape.
Sure. Well, customer experience is a very broad term, and in my mind, it really encompasses every interaction the customer has with your company and brand. When they originally start exploring, what might I buy, what might satisfy a particular need that I have. So from that initial exploration process through the selection, sales process, and then service and support. And today, what I think a lot of companies need to keep in mind is that customer experience with a brand starts before you even know a customer may be considering buying something from you. So, depending on what they're looking for, people may be asking friends, family, colleagues, advisors, etc., for recommendations, referrals. I mean, we probably do it all the time for restaurants, right? And we do that both in the real world, maybe with our next door neighbor or our mom or dad, and we also do it digitally via social media and review sites and rating sites. Again, think Yelp for restaurants. We've all probably used that. Or GetApp for when you're looking at business software. And I think all too often, some small businesses don't realize how often they may be voted in or out of consideration before they even have a chance to talk to that prospective customer, based on all those word of mouth, whether physical world or virtual, kinds of feedback they're getting about your brand. So providing a great experience to your existing customers is really like a marketing tool. We kind of call it the new marketing, right? Is customer service, because that's going to really help you either bring in new customers or stand in your way of doing that. Providing a terrible customer experience to the customers you have, or even when somebody's trying to look for something about your company and they can't find it, that discourages your current customers from coming back, and they're certainly also going to spread the word, and others won't even consider you when they're looking for something in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And the recent research that you ran showed that the top reason why small businesses invest in customer service solution is to better meet customer expectations. Why? Tell us more. Why is it so important?
Yeah, yes. In our most recent research study, SMB Technology Directions for a Changing World, which we really just wrapped up in March, small and medium businesses ranked customer service as their number one priority for automation. So, look at HR, financials, sales, marketing, everything else. Customer service came out on top. And I really think that's because customers increasingly expect and place a higher premium on good service and support. There's so many things have become commodities today, right? So the service and support can really help you distinguish your brand. And, customer service requests can come in from anywhere. They can come in on email, social media, conversations, phone, self-service options on your website, right? Chat bots, things like that. And I think, we always wrestled with that, handling all those different channels. But with COVID, all of this only got more important because a lot of businesses were changing how they did business. Think about sit-down restaurants starting to offer curbside business, or all kinds of businesses changing their hours or their service areas, like if you're a plumber, or their safety protocols. And there were new problems also because of the pandemic with things like shipping delays and troubleshooting and returns. And all of this led to more customer service issues. So I think, we're always kind of band-aiding customer service a lot of times as small businesses, but with COVID, this really came, push to shove. So the more quickly and efficiently you can move a customer from problem to solution, the more likely you're going to make that customer happy, have them stick around and recommend you to your friends. So it's really important to get customer service right.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we look at the past year with that pandemic, what do you think? And I mean, has been the impact of that pandemic and COVID-19 on customer support interactions?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think this is from another study we did earlier this year, but we found out on average since COVID, monthly support tickets rose by about 20%. So that's a lot. And, customers also wanted faster response times in the same survey that the SMB customers told us. They wanted faster response times, faster resolution to problems. And, I think you need to think about this a lot because if customer service doesn't meet someone's expectations, they're going to go elsewhere. So all of a sudden, a lot of small businesses really had to up their game. They had to provide more support and better support. And, customers today, they're used to dealing with Amazon where love them or hate them, you get a terrific level of support, whether you're buying something or you're returning something. So that's the benchmark for comparison. So, no one wants to wait. And they don't want to have to go through an endless string of, press 1 for this, press 2 for that on some kind of IVR system, especially not for a simple inquiry or issue like, what is your service area? Or have your hours changed? Or do you have outdoor seating? So, the bar is really raised with the pandemic, and I don't think it's going to come back down. And if your business is growing, this is another thing. A lot of small businesses are starting to do a lot better now that the pandemic is receding. So you're going to have more requests for service, more inquiries into your business. And again, as that volume scales up, you need to think about how you can automate things. Otherwise, you're not going to keep up with it.
Okay. And I guess during that period, I mean, small businesses were facing with a lot of uncertainty, but still had to communicate with their customers. So do you have examples of that, of how these businesses have been dealing with that and communicating with their end customers?
Yeah, I mentioned before with COVID, many businesses had to make changes to hours, occupancy rates, safety protocols, shipping policies. And, all the people that might be doing business with you, they didn't know what was going on, but they obviously needed to find out. And I think what happened was a lot of the businesses a lot of small businesses today rely primarily on phone or email to support, and they found themselves inundated with calls and emails. And because they didn't have a way to just kind of automatically update knowledge bases, facts, have a chat bot to answer, simple repetitive questions like, what are your new hours? So all this really resulted in the long delays and responses for people that wanted to do business with these companies. And of course, that leads to frustrated customers. And also on the flip side, on the business side, this is a time drain for the business. If you have to repeatedly answer support tickets or questions from different people that really are asking the same thing, having to toggle back and forth between email and phone or different tools that you may be using that aren't integrated, and not being able to solve problems quickly the first time a customer connects with you is all a big drain on the company. It's very labor intensive. And as I mentioned before, when customers are unhappy, it's easy for them to go elsewhere, and you lose money. So nobody wants to do that.
Yeah. So it yeah, clearly shows that many customers were, businesses were lagging behind changing customer expectations. And so my question will be on your recommendation to our audience to better anticipate customer needs.
Yeah, I think you think about how you want to be treated first when you're looking for something or shopping for something. And again, it's you want easy access to information you need when you need it. You want easy to access support if you have some kind of problem or issue. So, as a business, you want to be thinking about how you can automate some of the more time consuming, repetitive kind of inquiries and service requests you get. You can definitely use things like customer self service, like chatbots and knowledge bases, things like that, so people can answer simple questions. Of course, you want to have some of this just right out on your website, and it's surprising how many businesses sometimes don't even do that. So if somebody wants to know how to reset a password or how to change an order or about billing, or again, is there outdoor seating, anything like that, let them get that in an automated way. You don't need to be picking up the phone for all those things. And when you can help customers get these answers quickly, you can do more with less. That's what automation is all about. So, automation sounds kind of cold and sterile, but really, when you think about it, you make the customers happier, and then you have more time to spend on, if there's more complex cases you have to worry about and handle and resolve, or even just working on, a lot of small businesses, we wear a lot of hats. So maybe you're doing customer service, but you're also doing marketing, and maybe you'll have some more time to spend on marketing. And then again, just to reinforce the whole concept that these happy customers spread the word. Hey, this company, they're easy to do business with. They got me what I needed really quickly. They solved my problem really quickly, and there's no advertising you can do that's ever worth that's worth its weight in gold.
Okay. About your point on automation, do you think those tools are accessible to small business today? Many might think they are costly and quite difficult to implement.
Yeah, I think the cloud is now 20 something years old, but obviously it's been an evolution in terms of the quality of the applications and the range of applications. But today, I think we have a lot of solutions that are very accessible for any size business. Back in the dark ages, before the cloud, it was mostly expensive, difficult to deploy on premise. A lot of it revolved around these complicated phone systems, and it was really for large companies. So most small businesses just used the regular phone, not some kind of systemated IVR, and email and things like that. And you still want to have a good phone system where calls get picked up and you provide information. But now the cloud has made it easy to deploy a lot of these more modern customer service apps that we've been talking about. And it's, cloud is really no IT is required on your side. You don't have to install hardware or software. And the pay as you go kind of subscription model in the cloud, of course, makes it easier to pay for. And there's also today, I think, a lot of customer service solutions out there that are designed specifically for small businesses. So you want to look for those. You don't want to go to something that's designed for a large enterprise. You're going to be overwhelmed and it's going to be too expensive. But narrow your search for those companies really trying to serve the small business, and I think you'll be surprised how many choices you have.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it can even be overwhelming. On our sites, we have hundreds of apps for customer service. And so, in your opinion, what are the must-have features of customer service tools for small businesses? And do you think the different businesses require different features?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, let's start simple. Let's just say you have a website or a Facebook page. Do you have, I know it's not something that you usually think about as customer service, but do you have just easily available information about things like hours and service areas, and if you have any safety protocols, if it's an in-person business, all those kinds of things? Make sure they're clear and visible. And I think, having a knowledge base that both your internal people that need to answer questions, sometimes we call them service agents, but in a lot of small business, it could be almost anybody working in that company. But do they have a knowledge base that you can easily refresh and build on as you get more kinds of inquiries, so that everybody has the information they need at their fingertips? I think those are kind of table stakes these days. And then the next thing I would think about is chatbots. Chatbots are great because this is the automated kind of way you can set up answers to questions. So you're on somebody's website and we've all seen this happen. A little chatbot pops up and says, do you have any questions that I can answer? And you say, yeah, I want to learn, find out how to move my money from, this account to that account. And maybe you're dealing with a local bank or whatever your question is. And the chatbots can be set up to handle a lot of this. And also then when they can't answer the question, to turn that over. Another really great thing these days is SMS messaging. And I think this is really great for all kinds of businesses, but especially for service businesses. So if you're a salon or a dental office or a medical practice or a massage, whatever service you provide, sending people automated reminders, automated scheduling. Once you schedule the appointment, you get a reminder and it goes on. You can add it to your calendar. All those kinds of things, they just make it very easy for customers. Confirming your order's been shipped, confirming your order's been delivered. So I think those are all really important. The other thing is social media. There's a lot of information getting shared on social media, and a lot of people complaining or praising companies on social media. So you want to also have a way to bring all that in so you can head off any problems that maybe somebody's broadcasting out there. And, one other thing I would mention is that in a lot of cases, we as small businesses tend to use point solutions, like different solutions maybe for each of these things. And I would start thinking about maybe getting a solution where you can bring all these things together in a more unified way. And that will help you streamline things even further than using a bunch of different solutions. And in terms of, do different businesses need different types of things? I think all the things I mentioned are very relevant. Some may be more or less relevant depending on your business, but I think most businesses can benefit from those.
All right, thanks a lot. Can you share some examples of businesses that turn customer knowledge into a more successful experience?
Oh yeah. One that comes to mind, is a subscription-based digital food company. We all ordering company. Those became really. They were already popular, but they became really popular in the pandemic. And this one had a big spike in sales, but also support tickets. The food maybe not being delivered on time, or maybe there was something not quite right with the food, whatever. When the pandemic hit, because they're just, the orders are just ramped up like crazy, and it's hard to suddenly scale like that. And of course, more customers were ordering online and ordering with their phones, and as I mentioned, they wanted online service too. So this company started providing chat and SMS support, text support to customers. And through this, they were able to cut their wait times in half, the customer wait times. And that's a big deal, because nobody likes to wait, and they were getting people resolved and getting their questions answered much more quickly. Another thing that a different company did to automate service was to add AI into their fact page. So the fact page is now not just a static can I start that over? It's something that another company did was to automate service, was to add AI into their fact page. So instead of having a static fact page that people had to, constantly think about, well, what should I update? What came in? Maybe talk to everybody. What are the new kinds of things you're seeing? What should we add? They now can learn what the top search queries of their customers are when they visit. And you can use all that intelligence to refresh and update the FAQ accordingly, which when you think about is huge, because instead of relying on, oh, well, I think we got more of these kinds of requests or something, they actually know what people are wanting to know, and they can just give them a whole lot more information that they actually want a lot quicker. And by responding faster and with better information the first time, in both of these cases, you can really create a better customer experience that is going to serve you well.
Okay, so you already shared a lot of recommendations, but I would like to ask you, what are your recommended do's and don'ts for small businesses investing in customer service?
Sure. Well, it's a big deal, because a lot of smaller companies, you may not be using anything, or you may be just using something that's just maybe taking care of one thing. And if you're even listening to this, you probably are thinking about, and you should be thinking about, how you handle customer service now, and what some of the gaps are, and what you need to do differently to better serve your customers, and streamline things and free up time that you're spending handling a lot of repetitive kind of requests. You may have even, hopefully not, but lost a couple of customers, or you may be wondering, why aren't I getting the kind of new traffic I want from referrals and recommendations? So you need to think about all of these things that may be driving you to provide better service and support, and what your objectives are before you start looking for solutions. I think a lot of times we say, I need something better for customer service or sales or whatever, and you just start going out and looking at all these applications. And that's kind of putting the cart before the horse. You really want to get to the meat of what you're trying to do with service and what you're trying to improve first, and then it'll be easier to look for solutions later. I also think another thing to think about, it's overwhelming sometimes. There's phone, there's email, there's chat, there's SMS, there's all these social media channels. It can feel overwhelming, but if you think about who your customers are, where they want to be served, how they want to be served, I think it helps you narrow things down a little. I mean, sure, more and more you still need to have more digital customer support options. But for instance, you're always going to have phone and email. But for social media, maybe if you're a B2C company, maybe it's a lot of Facebook and Pinterest or Instagram or something. Whereas your B2B, maybe you're going to focus more on Twitter and LinkedIn. And I think one of the things I really feel strongly about is we all always have our smartphones. And I think everybody can probably benefit from using SMS messaging for anything from online ordering, like I talked about before, appointment reminders, confirmations, all of those kinds of things. And for the repetitive kinds of issues, the chat bots, the knowledge bases, for self-service, people want to self-serve and get their answers quickly. So I would definitely think about how you can add that in. I think it's almost a no-brainer now to use the cloud, but I will say that, that is definitely the way most small businesses want to go. And think about how you can use those solutions to automate repetitive inquiries and save the phone for those more complex things that you have to handle one-on-one. Another benefit of the cloud is that it makes it easy for your team to provide support from anywhere. So things like the online knowledge bases, guided workflows, which you can have in a good customer service application, internal chat, that keeps everybody on the same page. This gives you more flexibility in hiring. You can hire somebody that needs to work at home and have them do support for you even part-time. It just makes it a lot easier for everyone. And then, there's a big benefit to, as I mentioned before, to integrating and streamlining how you do customer service across these different channels. So if you're just starting to look and or you already have a couple of point solutions, think about if there's a way or there are definitely solutions out there, but it may be worth it for you to find a more integrated way to bring all these together under one umbrella.
Okay, so technology for sure can help a lot the small businesses to implement the right customer service. And I would like to hear from you what you think are the biggest hurdles companies are facing when implementing such technologies.
Yeah, I mean, in any technology area, it's always a big step from knowing, hey, we're really not doing a very good job in this area, and we really need to do it better, or we're growing and we don't want to manually scale the way we do this, like whether it's customer service or anything else. But it's hard to make that leap from knowing that you want to automate something to finding the right solution. And in fact, in the survey that we did in March, small businesses told us that just figuring out what solution will work best for their business is the biggest hurdle they face when they're trying to pick a technology solution. And this is not surprising because, as you know, there's dozens or even hundreds of solutions in any given solution area. So wading through all that can be challenging. And I think that's where peer review sites like GetApp can really help. You can use these sites to, look at different customer service and support applications and narrow down your search based on your specific requirements. And then GetApp will provide you with peer reviews of different solutions. You can even filter these reviews to find out, what are from people with businesses like mine, such as other small business or other restaurants or other, pet care businesses or something like that. And I think with small businesses, really, they don't have a lot of bandwidth. They can't try a lot of things. And kind of having these solutions vetted by other companies like them is a very important thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. And sorry to interrupt you, but this is the premise of for having created GetApp 10 years ago, and it has not changed a lot since. No?
No, I mean, I don't think, if anything, this problem of figuring out what's going to help my business is only going to get harder because, people are coming out with new applications every single day. And by being able to narrow down your search, it brings things into better focus and, what's going to be more relevant for my business. And from there, though, that's obviously not the last stop. You've got to figure out, okay, I've got kind of a short list based on peer reviews, but you're going to want to try out some of the solutions. Cloud solutions, luckily, they're really easy to take for a test drive, and make sure, though, that you have the people that are going to use the solution kick the tires. A lot of times, there might be one or two people kind of testing it and making the decision. You really want to involve all the people that might use it right from the get-go. You're not only probably going to pick a better solution, but people can resist change. But if they're in the process and helping to make the decision, they're more likely to get on board. One of the things that I always advise people to do as well when they're considering buying a solution is, and this kind of comes back to customer service too, but really take into account how responsive and transparent and easy that vendor makes it to answer your questions and concerns. Are they getting back to you quickly and answering your questions to your satisfaction? Because what I've learned over the years is that the vendors that provide you with great service before you buy, they're more likely to provide you with better service after you buy as well.
Yeah, I hope that this is getting better over time. But it's true that customer service has been around for a while, but it sounds like it's even more important for businesses that are moving to digital. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, customer service really is the new marketing. Um, Social media created this viral word of mouth. And now, when someone has an experience, they can share it not just with their immediate circle, but really, literally with the world. So, in the digital age, people are sharing experiences with brand far and wide. An example, I'll use my own example. I recently bought 3 bathing suits online from a Facebook merchant. As women, we all know, the odds of even one of them fitting right are probably low. But 2 I did like, but 1 I didn't. I didn't like it, but there was no information on the site or in the package on returns. So I emailed the company, and then they had a really, terrible return process. It was anything but quick and easy. Now, I've already commented on that face page saying, beware because you may be having a hard time returning this. On the flip side, I found another company, and I'll mention their name because they were great. They're called Ruggable. I recently got a puppy, and we had to take up our nice rugs because of the puppy. And Ruggable makes pet-friendly rugs that you can throw in the washing machine. Well, Ruggable made everything easy. They answer my questions online chat. Before I bought rugs, they made it easy to find out how to return one that I didn't like in my home. And I've sung their praises all over social media, and I've also gone back and bought more rugs from them. So it really does make a difference.
Okay, so we are at the end of that interview, and I'd like to hear from you any concluding thoughts or remarks on the topic we discussed today.
well, I mean, I think just to recap, the way you treat your customers is probably one, and your employees. It's very important to treat your employees well, but customer service is really important, not just for your existing customers, but to get new customers. Referrals, recommendations, reviews, ratings, all those things really count. And as we get more and more choices, as the digital world makes the world smaller and you can shop anywhere and buy anywhere. Even gyms, think about a gym. You can do gyms online now. It's very important to make sure that you're serving your customers well and they're putting out positive experiences about your brand. And the tools that we have now to help us as small businesses service customers better are out there. They're available. So there's really no reason not to start thinking about it and taking some steps so you can provide a better experience.
All right. I mean, thank you for sharing your thoughts on all these insights, Laurie. It was really great. And I deeply encourage business owners to really think through what you shared about customer service being the new marketing. I love that statement, and how it can help them win the customer satisfaction race. So at GetApp, we have over 250 customer service tools to help your business manage all types of customer interactions, and I'm sure you will find what you need there. Stay tuned for the next exciting interview, and in the meantime, if you'd like to share your opinion about the software you're using, please leave a review on getapp.com or follow us on LinkedIn.